Abandoned towns, once thriving communities, now only haunted by tales of decay and forgotten dreams. Let's explore some you likely haven't heard about. First up, a tale of a town swallowed by the earth, a place where the ground breathes smoke and whispers of a forgotten inferno. I speak of Centralia, Pennsylvania, a ghost town etched in the American landscape, not by war or famine, but by a relentless fire that has burned for over 6 decades. Imagine, if you will, a crisp spring day in the year 1962. Picture a small town, Main Street bustling, children playing, the scent of coal smoke mingling, with the aroma of sweet apple pie. Centralia then was a thriving coal town, but it was built upon the very resource that would become its curse. Beneath their feet, a labyrinth of coal seems snaked through the earth, a fuel that has powered, industries and warmed homes for generations. But that day, something went terribly wrong. The precise origin remains a little shrouded in mystery, whispered theories of a trash fire, carelessly set by someone, or perhaps a controlled burn gone horribly wrong. Whatever the spark, it ignited a sleeping giant, a vein of coal deep within the earth. And once awakened, this beast proved unstoppable. At first, the signs were very subtle, a wisp of smoke kind of just curling from a crack in the road, a strange kind of sulfurous smell hanging in the air, but soon the cracks widened, steam hissed from, the fissures of the ground, and the temperature of the soil began to rise. Centralia was becoming a furnace. The flames, which were fueled by the endless supply of coal, spread like a wildfire beneath the town. Homes, buckled, foundations cracked, and gases seeped into basements, poisoning the air. The residents of Centralia, their lives intertwined with the coal that now threatened to consume them, were caught in a terrifying dilemma. Should they stay, clinging to their homes, or flee, abandoning everything they knew? Families were torn apart by this impossible choice. Businesses, shuttered, their windows, staring blankly into the smoky haze. The post office was then closed, a symbol of a community just slowly fading away. One by one, houses were swallowed by sinkholes, claimed by this relentless fire. This town was absolutely abandoned in the 1980s due to this coal mine fire that has been burning since the 1960s. Now, despite efforts to extinguish the fire, it continues to burn to this day, making Centralia unlivable and completely uninhabitable. Today, the town is an absolute ghost town, with many of its buildings and streets reclaimed by nature. Centralia stands, as a stark monument to the power of nature, a silent city kind of draped in a very eerie, perpetual fog. Route 61, once a major, thoroughfare, is now basically fully closed. It's like graffiti covered, and honestly, just a very chilling reminder of the town that once was. The air hangs very heavy with the smell of sulfur, which is also just a constant reminder of the fire that burns beneath. Centralia is not just an abandoned town, it's a living ghost. A place where the past refuses to be buried, a warning etched in smoke and ash. Many people want to visit, but it's not recommended, and it's still burning literally like right now. So even I will not recommend it. This is the real Silent Hill, if you can catch that reference. Next up, a place frozen in time, a city cloaked in an eerie silence where the echoes of laughter and the hum of industry have been replaced by the rustling of wind through empty streets. I speak of Pripyat, Ukraine, a ghost city, a stark and haunting reminder of a tragedy that shook the world. Pripyat, once a vibrant, Soviet city, was built to house the workers of the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Now, imagine a city filled with youthful energy, a place where families strolled along, tree-lined boulevards, where children played in brightly colored parks, where the future seemed as bright as the utopian ideals, of the era. A city of nearly 50,000 people, just full of life, promise, and progress. But on April 26, 1986, that promise was shattered. A routine test at the Chernobyl plant, spiraled catastrophically out of control. Reactor number 4 exploded, unleashing a torrent of radiation into the atmosphere. The invisible enemy, absolutely silenced, spread like a phantom wind, contaminating literally everything it touched. Within hours, Pripyat, the city of dreams, became a city of dread. The residents, initially unaware of the true danger, went about their daily lives, took their kids to school, went to the library, went to work, did their shopping, etc., oblivious to the invisible poison that was raining down on them. Then the order came, evacuation. A temporary measure, they were told, just for a few days. They packed what they could carry, leaving behind their homes, their belongings, their memories, believing they would soon return, but they never did. Pripyat became a ghost town, a chilling scene of life just interrupted. Time basically just stood still. Honestly, it's really creepy to look at. Like, it's like a scene in a horror movie. Ferris wheels in the amusement park just remain frozen mid-turn, a very unsettling symbol of lost innocence. Dolls lie scattered in abandoned kindergartens, their eyes just staring into the emptiness, and books remain open on desks in deserted schools, juice boxes half drank. I'm really trying to paint you the picture here, but this city is a museum of like a bygone era, a snapshot of just Soviet life preserved in a sepia-tone nightmare. The silence is deafening. No birds saying, no children laugh, only the wind whispers through the empty buildings, carrying with it the ghosts of the past. The once vibrant streets are now overgrown with weeds, a testament to nature's relentless reclaiming. It is a place where the past refuses to be forgotten, where the air itself seems to buzz with the weight of what happened. It is a place, that reminds us of the fragility of life, like the power of nature and the importance of vigilance. Now, many people want Pripyat to be a lesson, a reminder that progress must never come at the cost of human lives. Today, it's nothing more than a haunting reminder of the devastating consequences of the Chernobyl disaster. It's a ghost town, and honestly, to each their own, but I'd be way too spooked to visit. In 2022, Russian troops did actually roam through the deserted city and use the space to actually practice drills, as they used a special radiation control unit which monitored the levels to which the soldiers would be exposed. It's reported that this city has, some of the highest contamination levels. However, it is possible that over time the radiation levels could actually decrease so much that it makes it possible for people to live there again. Keep that in mind if you're looking to move or relocate in the next 50 years. Last up, we have a story of a forgotten island, a place once flooding with life, now a skeletal silhouette against the skyline. I speak of Hashima Island, also known as Battleship Island, a concrete ghost ship, adrift in the East China Sea. Imagine, if you will, a tiny island, barely larger than a city block, transformed into a fortress of industry. From the late 19th century until the mid-20th, Hashima was a coal mining powerhouse, a central figure in Japan's rapid industrialization. Mitsubishi Corporation, the island's owner, built towering concrete structures, apartment blocks, schools, shops, all crammed onto this little small rocky bluff. It was a city at sea, a self-contained world fueled by the very resource it extracted from the earth. Life on Hashima was a very unique and intense experience. Imagine, thousands of people living and working in such close proximity, a tightly knit community bound, by the shared purpose of coal extraction. Miners descended hundreds of meters below the surface, braving dangerous conditions to fuel Japan's growth. Families lived in cramped apartments, children played, on rooftop playgrounds, and the island throbbed with the energy of a boomtown. Hashima, at its peak in the 1950s, housed over 5,000 residents, making it one of the most densely populated, places on Earth. It was a symbol of Japan's resilience, its resourcefulness, and its relentless drive for progress. But this boom was not to last. The mid-20th century actually brought about a shift in energy sources. Coal, which was once king, was dethroned by the rise of oil. The mines on Hashima, once a source of wealth, became less profitable. Mitsubishi, facing declining returns, made the very difficult decision to just close the mines. And so in 1974, Hashima's fate was sealed. The residents who had built their lives on this island were forced to leave, abandoning their homes, their schools, basically their whole community. They left behind a city frozen in time, a concrete jungle slowly being reclaimed by the sea. Hashima became a ghost island, a haunting reminder of just a historic era. The once bustling apartment blocks now stand empty, their windows, staring blankly out at the ocean. The school where children once learned and laughed is now completely silent, its classrooms just filled with dust. The shops where families once bought their groceries are now just empty shelves, completely bare. The island, battered by typhoons and time, began to crumble. The structures, once symbols of strength and progress, became an eerie testament to the decay of human endeavors. Hashima, once a beacon of industry, became a symbol of decline, a constant reminder of the boom and bust cycle of human history. Now today, Hashima, stands as a somber and yet kind of beautiful ruin, a place that draws, photographers, urban explorers, and history enthusiasts from all around the world. It's a place where you can walk through the empty corridors of abandoned buildings, where you can feel the weight of history just hanging in the air, where you can imagine the lives of the people who once called this island home. Hashima is more than just an abandoned island, though. Honestly, it's a time capsule, a reminder of a specific moment in history. It's a story of industry, community, and ultimately abandonment. People want to remember Hashima for its story that deserves to be told, a story that deserves to be remembered. Tourists are allowed to visit if you want to go. However, fishermen fishermen who sail near the island claim they have seen strange flickering lights in the buildings, even though the island has no electricity. Strange noises have been heard as well, and cold spots have been felt. Many people have said that they had this sensation of being watched, and there are even claims of people that have been touched by unseen hands. Spooky. Which abandoned location would you want to visit, if any? Let me know. I'm your host, Ashley. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay scared.